Okay, I'm going to talk about how you can build emotional chemistry on a date. You get that superficial chemistry that just happens, but did you know that based on the conversation you have with someone else, you can actually build emotional chemistry? And I'm going to tell you how in this video, and I'm going to tell you some of the pitfalls you might be falling into on dates that's getting in the way of that happening. Women tend to fall into one trap, men tend to fall into another trap. I find women often want to go into a date and find out all about the guy. They'll want to make sure he meets the type of person that they want to date, and they do that by questioning. But the questions often come across interview style. And when someone feels judged like that, it doesn't build an emotional connection. In fact, it has the opposite effect. Now, no one wants to feel judged. No one wants to feel those question after question after question. Instead of people really opening up, it can have the opposite effect. The common trap that men tend to fall into is they feel the need to sell themselves. So what they'll do is they'll want to give a lot of information. They'll want to talk a lot, but they won't often ask the woman questions on the date. And I've had guys say, look, I feel the need to, I didn't get enough time to tell her who I was, and that's why she didn't like me. Well, they've missed the point. No one wants to be talked at. No one wants to hear a list of your features and benefits. They want a conversation that flows both ways, and they want you to be interested in them. So when guys fall into that trap, they literally do not ask any question of the woman they're on a date with. And it does not form emotional chemistry. So what I want you to do instead is you want to talk to the person and get them into their feelings rather than just in their heads talking about facts. When we get into our feelings, and remembering good times, it will build an emotional connection, an emotional chemistry with the other person. So I'm going to give you an example of that. And I'm going to use travel because often we all like to talk about travel when we're on dates and people enjoy travel. So if you're on a date, say I'm on a date and I'm asking the guy I'm on a date with, oh, what was the last place you traveled to that you absolutely loved? And maybe the guy comes and goes, oh my God, I went to America and it was just so amazing. I had the best time. Now, to build emotional chemistry, what I would need to do is then go, well, what did you love about going to America? What was it that really, what we really enjoyed and passionate, and what felt good? And then the guy I'm talking to will get into those good feelings and they'll associate it with the person they're talking to, right? Then after they finish telling you why they enjoyed the US, you could say, oh, I know what you mean. Look, I remember going to America and I loved it for the very same reasons. Plus, and then you tell them a story. That builds common ground. It gets you both connected to the good feeling that you had when you were on that trip. But what people tend to do is, say I asked the guy the question about America and he told me how much he loved it. Instead of asking him any more questions, I could straight away turn it around and make it about me. Oh, well, I went there. So the other person doesn't really feel listened to, doesn't really feel like you're interested in them because you just really answered the question they were asking. Or you could ask questions that are factual based, right? What restaurants did you eat in? What was your itinerary? Or very factual based, head based stuff. You want to avoid that and you want to get into the feelings. It might take a bit of practice, but it's a conversation where it will feel good for both of you rather than being one-sided and not interested. And it's the very type of conversation that can build and will build an emotional connection and emotional chemistry. Anyway, my name's Debbie Rivers. I'm a relationship coach, and I hope whatever you're doing today puts a smile on your face. Thanks for listening.